Ed?
Look what you made me do!
Welcome back to the Haddonfield Horrors podcast, where we review horror movies and horror franchises. I'm Mark.
I'm Tawan.
I'm Maria.
I'm Alian.
And today we're reviewing The Conjuring, released in 2013, directed by James Wan and written by twin brothers Carrie and Chad Hayes. Elion, can you please give the people the plot summary?
Yeah, of course. In 1971, the Perrin family moved into the dilapidated Rhode Island farmhouse, and soon strange things started happening around the escalated nightmarish terror. In desperation, Carolyn contacts the noted paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren to examine the house. What the Warrens discover is a whole area steeped in satanic haunting and now targeting the Perrin family wherever they go. To stop this evil, the Warrens have to call upon their skills and spiritual strength to defeat this spectral menace, at the source of it, at its source that threatens to destroy everyone involved.
So, The Conjuring. We're back in the mind of James Wan. You know, we did Insidious, and then we did Saw, so now we're back with James Wan and The Conjuring, which is another ghost story, just like Insidious. But, whatever. Even with the same actor. But, whatever. It's a whole new mystery, a whole new movie, and it's based off Ed and Lorraine, the ghost hunting married couple. Now, I should say I've seen The Conjuring 2, and I've seen The Conjuring, the most recent one, but this is my first time watching this one. And I didn't enjoy it. Like, the other two were like bunch of action, good directing. This one was kind of boring, and like it was some random like camera shots. Like I
What
did
the
not.
hell?
What do you mean? What the hell?
I agree. I agree. If I can be honest, like throughout the whole movie, I just saw like a lot of zoom ins, zoom outs. Just I felt like more of the budget was at the end of the film more than anything throughout the film.
The third one was compared to the third one. Like the third one was not good in my opinion. But
It's been a while. I no comment on that one. It's been a while since I watched that.
yeah, I didn't like that one. But this one, I did like this movie. It has been a while since I'd seen it. Honestly, can't even remember the last time I watched it. I definitely went to theaters to go see it though, and it was a good watch then, and it was still a good watch for me now. I think as far as I would say current paranormal horror that's not like an A24 neon production movie that's for the masses. I would say this still holds up pretty well. And but along with the second one, it's definitely up there in like the Conjuring Universe, as it's been called these days, as one of the like better like paranormal movies that has come out. I think even though even though the budget was like pretty like it was pretty slim on this movie, I
Slim
think
as fuck. They're
20
working on a
million.
packet of food stamps.
I think
Jousting.
it I think it utilized it well to what we got with the end product.
Really?
I mean,
With the
what?
budget, yeah. With its budget,
No,
100%.
from the editing choices and the
I
color
don't.
grading, the sound
Look, look,
design,
look, look, look,
The
look.
sound design was good. I don't know what you're talking about.
very
I
they
don't.
got someone cheap.
If anything, I dislike the color grading more in Insidious than I do in this movie. To be quite honest with you,
Well, because Insidious got that blue shit going on. This one just was just like they were trying to lean too hard into like the '70s aesthetic, and it just looked bad. Some of the sound was too loud over the vocal dialogue, and it was just too much
I don't
going
know.
on. It
Maybe
was
you need to
bad.
fix your TV or something.
No, what?
Do you do color grading on your TV?
Yes, I do.
You don't know how to work
No
Discord.
amount of
Are you lying? Oh,
no amount of flicking through my settings is gonna help that movie look better. Okay, I'm colorblind, and that I can tell that shit ain't looking.
so you already at a disadvantage.
Shut up.
As I was saying, I think the movie used this budget pretty well for what it was given. Um, and I mean, it grossed a bunch more. I mean, when it comes down to like horror, like the budget don't need to be that huge for the specific products. And I feel like when it comes to James Wan, like he kind of knows what he wants to do. Like he's like when he does like his screenplays, I feel like he's pretty good with sketching everything out how he envisions it, so it ends up being like a cheaper product overall. And I think the aesthetic and the way that it looked just added to this specific movie. Um, I would say that's it for me as far as like coming back into it. I still like this movie though, and I think that it personally holds up.
I enjoyed the film as well. For me, I had no issue. Like I thought the cast was great. I thought the area that I believe it's where it actually was took place. I think everything was fine. The plot, the casting. I just had an issue with how it was recorded because for me in the beginning to like maybe the middle, maybe a little bit at the end, it was just a lot of zoom ins and zoom outs. I don't know. That's what I saw more than anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I just had some issues, but let's move on to some scenes that stood out. Were there any scenes that stood out for you guys? Good, bad, or indifferent? I will say for me, I liked all the initial scenes of the family being like haunted because it was just like very subtle and it just went from like each of like the female family members. And I like that slow build. How it started with the one sister and then the other sister, then they got to the mom. It's like I like that. The opening scene with those two girls who had Annabelle, the two nurses who had Annabelle. Like how? What do you mean? I'm a nurse, and this poor spirit child thing wanted friends, so we told her she can come into the doll.
We don't know what's going on or what to do. Can you help us?
Yes, we can.
When I was watching that, Tuan, I wanted to like text you like, so they let Annabelle, so they were just like, here, come possess me because you are a lonely ghost child demon thing.
Hey, I mean, I don't even put it past them. I know they did that shit for real.
Like who? I was so confused. I was just dumb. But what about you two? Were there any scenes that stood out, good, bad, or indifferent? Tuan?
I'd say for me, and I think this is kind of like a thing that I like about when James Wan does like either paranormal, anything like that. When his jump scares are like effective because I feel like there actually is a payoff there. Like um you're not being pulled around like the scene and then it's like nothing there the whole time. Something's like actually gonna be there. And I feel like he just effectively like builds that up really good. Obviously the most iconic scene in this movie is when they were doing the hide and clap.
Oh, I know where you're hiding. Give me the third clap. I'm gonna get you now.
And the hands clap behind the mom. That scene's still good. Like, yes, I know it's gonna happen now after like numerous rewatches of this movie, but even doing so, like just the build up to that and like when it actually happens, like that's a really good scene. Um, Another one was the whole thing that was happening when Lorraine's like necklace, I believe it was, got like stuck at the house, and it kind of like synced with what was happening at the house that her and Ed lived in and their daughter. I thought that was a pretty good scene as well, and them trying to get back to the house so that they can stop what's going on there. Um, Another good scene when Lorraine was in the outside, and like you just see the dead body just hanging from the tree, that nobody else could see, but Lorraine could like see that due to like her abilities or whatnot. And outside of those, at least off the top of my head, I don't think I have any that like immediately come to mind.
I think for me, it's more. I don't think I have a particular scene. I just like enjoyed the fact, like, unlike many other horror movies, there's not like, yes, I understand there are like some jump scares that we see now and then, but it was just more of like it was actually portraying the story that happened within what the story is entailing. And what I didn't, what I just enjoyed, it was not just, it wasn't just like how we spoke before. It's not just like every other horror movie where everything's a jump scare, jump scare, jump scare. It actually, it tells a story. It lets us wait. What else can I say? I think more what I did also enjoy, like, we might not talk about this. It's just like, even though we're talking about this, The Conjuring, it also it's also building up for the future films that come out. Like, for example, Annabelle.
Yeah.
And like they didn't focus on that part a lot, which I really enjoyed, because there are a lot of films that like already get ready for the next film over actually staying on the first film.
No, yeah, you're right. Like they didn't. Even though like now it's the Conjuring Universe, it wasn't like gone into James Wan being like, we're gonna make a universe out of this, like some MCU type stuff. Like it was just built naturally due to the little like drops that were in there.
Right.
Well, let's talk about the kills. Were there any kills or jump scares that stood out?
When I first
I'm gonna say
I'm
missed
gonna
opportunity kill. Missed opportunity kill was Brad, because I don't understand why Brad didn't die. But go ahead, Ellen.
Who was Brad?
the husband, I think, or was it the cop? I forgot. Oh
Was
no,
Brad the videographer?
I have no idea. I forgot.
Pretty much, yeah, he was. He was a videographer, cop guy.
Okay. So it was the
Oh,
cop.
that dude. Okay, yeah.
It didn't scare me at first. Well, after watching it, of course, multiple times, it doesn't scare me. But like going back to the hide and clap, like where she's trying to figure out where she's hearing these voices, and then the hands come back, no, show themselves right next to her, and then the lights turn off. When I first saw that, I did get a little jump scare. Now it's just like I already know what's gonna happen. What else? Not. I think that's the only one I can think in the top of my head at the moment.
Yeah, that one's really effective. Like, it's just like the build up for it was really good, and it
Quick
actually had
pause.
a payoff.
Maria is getting ready to hop in.
Okay.
Continue.
I think with that one, like it's like nothing like super major, but I think it was just the build up is really good, and especially around like when that movie came out, we had just really come off a lot of like kind of trash, I would say, paranormal esque movies in the years before, so that were kind of like a bit of like jump scare heavy. So I
Right.
feel like be having them be like effective in that way, where while it may seem a little bit drawn out, it ropes you back in with an actual like scare, and not just like someone closing the door hard or like the cat jumping off the dresser or something.
Maria, can you tell us any kills or jump scares that stood out? Good, bad, or indifferent?
Well, that one where there's that like the witch is like on the dresser.
That was a good
You know,
one.
that one got, and honestly, sometimes like I forget about it and it gets me. But that one I think is the one that really stuck to me. The first time I watched it, I definitely screamed, and I don't usually like, I don't really get scared. But they got me with that one.
You sound disappointed in yourself.
Because it was like you were just, because that's what I like about the movies. You don't really like expect it, you know. And to be honest, I expected them to just pan up and you see her, and you're like, oh shit, there's somebody up there. But then they zoom into her face, and you see her face, and it's just a whole moment.
I have to say, I wasn't prepared for the mom to get possessed. I was waiting for it to be one of the kids.
That's
and then
what I
when
thought
they,
myself. I was very shocked by
I
it.
was like, wait, it's the mom?
Yeah, like the scene when she's like fully, well, first of all, like the scene when she's like levitating and stuff, that scene also scared me a little bit. But the scene when like half of her cloth is cut and you see like half of her face and she definitely
Yes.
looks really fucking possessed. And then she like switches to like the witch. That part
That was
freaked me out
good.
a little
That
bit.
was a good. That was a
I
good
ain't gonna
part.
believe this, but when I was watching this movie like the first time, I wasn't even scared, but I literally told myself like, "Oh, she needs a skincare regimen." Oh my god, I would be if I looked the way she looked, I would be evil too. Shit.
Yeah, they made her so
I was like,
they
"Oh,
made her so
I'd be evil
ugly.
too if I looked like that."
But I think that's it for me.
Well, let's move on to the character with Judy, the kid. Like, so they just had Judy there to get like possessed or get like attacked, and then
I
Judy was
think.
gone. Like, why was Judy here?
Oh, I don't know per se if like they already had the idea of to already have the films already made, like the trilogy or like the Chronicles or like uh, if it was for that, I can understand, but I'm not sure. I don't have much background on it.
I mean, were they just supposed to leave their kid out though? They have a child.
I mean, I guess, but she was just there.
I mean, like she was kind of like she was just there, but she wasn't like integral to the plot.
I'm
But
giving her cameo. Let's give her props for that.
Oh, Maria, what are your thoughts on Drew? He was the cute assistant. I want to say he was Asian, but I
Um,
don't want to say he was Asian. But he was cute.
he was.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, he was just kind of there for me. Like every now and then they were like, "Oh, Drew's got it," and I'm just like, "Oh shit, yeah, they have an assistant." I guess that's what he was. But he didn't really stand out to me until he had to like do something to move along the plot. Like like when he found, what was her name, April, under the floorboard, and he like yelled it out, and everybody's like, okay, cool, they found her. But then, the witch heard and went to go get her, which I don't know why he did that, but that's just me. But other than that, I don't really have any like strong opinions about Drew.
See, us talking about Drew is kind of like how when we were doing what was it? One of those. I think it was when we were doing the Scream franchise, and you were like, "Why would you mention Cotton Weary?"
I will. Okay, so what I want to say about the family is I understand they found this very cheap house, but that house just look haunted. It don't matter like how much you bought it for. I don't care what time period you bought it. That house looks haunted. I feel like if you going into it and you see that house, you're gonna walk in there and be like, "Nah, some up." and we gotta go. But I know that certain people don't, they don't think like that all the time in
I mean,
these
we're
movies.
already thinking it.
So here we are, and now they're just all in this house. But the husband, where was he? Like he went to
He was a truck driver, so he was barely at home. So
yes, okay, yes, he was a
yes,
truck driver, but like you're telling me all this stuff is happening. Everybody is in correspondence, like all the daughters, the mom, and you're still leaving. Like you're not, and like it's like he didn't take it serious
okay,
until it was serious for
that
him.
was like you didn't see your kids get beat up. Now your wife is getting beat up, and now you just like, I still
He
gotta
like
go, guys.
no, like for
Loki, now I know.
real.
Oh,
Like he
my
seen
bad.
it. No, you're
Listen,
good. Continue.
I mean, now I see why Bathsheba was possessing the mom. If I had to take care of 5 kids and I had no husband with me, I'd be stressed. I'd be too stressed.
Them were a lot of kids.
But see, I am talking shit, but I probably would be like him. I couldn't go home. I'd be like, damn, that's crazy. Either we all moving, or I'm gonna just be on the road because I'm
That
not
as
going
he
back
was
to the
like,
house.
that's. Oh, continue. I'm sorry. Be quiet.
I mean, it's no, because it's not like anything was happening to him directly. You know, he was just hearing everything happening from his daughters. His wife was freaking out, and he honestly didn't seem very like
Concerned.
it didn't seem like he
I mean,
cared. Yeah, he was just like, "Oh my god,
I
you
mean,
saw a
this movie
ghost?
is
Oh
set
my
in like what
god!"
the 60s or 70s. He was probably just like the women are just being hysterical. Like
For me, it
I'm
was
making noise.
giving when Squidward disappeared in that little meme. He just whoosh.
What about you, Maria? You got any more thoughts on the family? You got any more thoughts on the family on the show?
The family?
Yep.
Um, no, I guess it's just really the dad. Like, yeah, I don't remember this lady's name. But like the mom, she was just kind of trying to keep it together. At the same time, she was over here getting possessed. And then yeah, like the dad, he was just, I think, because like yeah, in that scene where he comes home and everybody's screaming, everybody's freaking out. Your wife is locked in the basement, and he's just like, somebody tell me what's going on. Like like a bunch of people are freaking out, right? And he just did not seem very concerned. He was just more or less like, what happened? Like let's talk it through. Whereas like different people in the house, he just seemed so like he was just going with the flow, to be honest. He was just kind of like, well, like I think like with the pictures, and Ed and Lorraine had came and they were like, oh, why aren't you putting like your pictures up? And he was just like, oh well, they fall down, so we stopped putting them up. And then with like the doors, and they were just like, oh, it's because the doors rattle at night, so yeah, we just tied them up. And then the way he like nonchalantly was like, yeah, we also hear knocking, all throughout the night, but it's just like he did not seem at all concerned with what the hell was going on. Like he was just like, yeah, it happens. And that was
We'll
it.
deal with it.
Yeah, he was just like, well, let's just tie the
Like
doors.
it's a
They
cheap,
make
it was
noise,
a
so let's
cheap
just tie them
house.
up.
We're good.
It was. And honestly, to be honest, though, I feel like I'd do the same. Like if I had gotten a house and and it was cheap, but it was like a 4 or 5 bedroom. Hell yeah, I'm gonna ignore the ghost.
Not you becoming besties with
I'm gonna be
it.
like, I mean, not besties, but I'm just gonna be like, you know what?
This your
Like I'm
part.
gonna fight for my
This
house.
your part of the house.
Yeah, like just stay in this room. You get your own room. Be happy with it. But yeah,
It just okay. Some of those kids are already weird. So like at first it was kind of hard for me to be like, okay, so is she possessed or is she just still being weird? Like I was like it wasn't. I couldn't figure it out at first, and then I felt so bad for the mom. I just don't know why. It's just like she was with the kids by herself, a lot of them, and their husbands are driving trucks, probably cheating and shit, and then now the family's being possessed by a fucking evil, crazy witch lady. Like, damn, like can his mom get a
Oh, I'm
break,
sorry.
bro?
You cut
Like,
me
there's
off
a
guard with
lot
that
going
one.
on for the lady.
Not getting
Cut me
cheated
off
on.
guard with that
She out here.
one.
They was I don't know. It was just some weird shit going on. But
Yes.
Tuan, what are your
Love
thoughts on
them.
Ed and
They're
Lorraine?
faves. I got like I'm holding up a heart right now. Um, they were perfectly casted. I love Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson. So like having them both in this franchise, they were very good like cast for like well casted for this role. Um, I think they make a good like duo because like I'm not like saying like it's like good cop bad cop, but like just Lorraine like can connects on a more deeper level than the rest of them, whereas Ed is just trying to figure out like what to do as far as like I guess in a logical sense, like what as for what they can do, what should like go on with it. So they work good because they pair those two things together, and the outcome tends to end up pretty well for them. So I think that's why I feel like the characters work as well as they do, and they feel like they're a real couple. Like the way that they like act towards each other, like they capture um like a couple pretty well, and who also works together. So I feel like that also is like a compliment to like the actors and how they deal with the material. So I really don't know if I have much to say about Ed and Lorraine. Like I just think they were really good, and this movie laid a good groundwork for them to go throughout the rest of the movies. Because like even thoughts on like some of the other movies, like some things may not have been up to par with the first one. I always felt that Ed and Lorraine were still the best parts of each of the movies for this universe that they were in.
What about you, Maria?
I mean, I like them. Yeah, I did like the actors in this movie. I feel like uh, Tuan's right. Their chemistry is very, it goes well, you know, and I feel like it really made me believe that they were in love, and honestly, made a lot of people believe that Ed and Lorraine were good people when they weren't in real life. But that's just me. But I mean, I do agree that the acting just really did it for me, you know. I don't know what the lady's name is, like the lady who plays Lorraine. She does like a really good job of not making Lorraine just seem, you know, like in movies they make the psychics seem very like
Like mystical.
sometimes they kind of overdo it. Yeah, but like Lorraine, she's just some lady, you know, she's just helping out.
Hmm.
And I liked that they made him very campy, just very like humble, very, you know, like they're literally just helping people and that's what they do. And um I I mean I could have done without the whole like Christian and like Catholic ideology they kept pushing on us. And I could have done okay, I mean I do agree that like the scenes where it kind of shows you more of like Ed and Lorraine's relationship, they were good. I feel like because I know Lorraine, like the real Lorraine, had a lot of hand in making the movies, um, and I think they probably did a good job in um, making them seem like they were really in love, and that's probably what she wanted. Um, and I feel like they did a great job without overdoing it, you know, um, without us, you know, without the movie turning from like a scary movie to like go to like a love story or whatever. There were some scenes that were kind of cheesy. I mean, I can see that, but overall, though, I feel like the actors did a great job of portraying Ed and Lorraine, and kind of like, because I remember like when the movie came out, a lot of people were like, Ed and Lorraine. Like, I mean, because I grew up. I mean, I don't know if it's like obvious by now, but I grew up watching a lot of like ghost shows, a lot of like just scary stuff like that. So I kind of already knew who Ed and Lorraine were, and I kind of knew some of like the things that they did way back when. So I feel like this was a good. I don't even know how to say it, but it was like a good. Um, it was a good start point to the franchise, and Ed and Lorraine in the movies did really well to kind of, I feel like they held that like love for each other throughout the movies, that didn't really like, it didn't lose itself. That whole message of they love each other very much, and they're very like Christian, Catholic. I don't remember which one they were, but and I feel like they did a good job of portraying that throughout like the movies without it getting lost along the way.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So, Elion, can you give us?
But yeah, I liked them
So,
in the
Elion, can you
movies.
give us your
So
thoughts on Bastille?
Let me hold my jokes to myself. Um, let's see. It's just there. I'm just saying, like, what I did enjoy a lot is that even though she was basically the main, is an antagonist, basically, um, she wasn't seen as much. Like, it wasn't just like, it was not like, how do I say this? Like, there was not a lot of pop up scares like you would see like in like old or like relevant movies now. It was just like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like I just enjoyed the fact that she wasn't
Like overtly
seen a lot.
there,
It
like
was
all
just
the time. I get what you
yeah,
mean.
yes. Like it was just like little snippets and clips to know who she was or like how she looks, but it wasn't like it was all about her per se. Um, that's all I have. I really have nothing for this character. It's just like she just needs a bath. Uh, I mean, it's in the name. I'm sorry.
What, Bathsheba?
Oh no, no, but yeah,
Where,
I have nothing else to say. I really don't. Like, it's just more of like I just enjoyed the fact that it was just like snippets. It was clips, and like at the end, even though we see her a little bit, like a little bit more than we did throughout the whole film, I just like that it was more of a gradual increase of her revelation compared to like it's already in the beginning, and then just from there on.
yeah, I'd agree with that. It didn't overstay its welcome with Bathsheba, because yeah, some movies do that with their like antagonist or like the entity that's the main entity that's haunting. Like they show it like too much, but we got like a good amount of seeing her. But it was more so focused on like the family element and the mom getting through it than oh, scary ghost lady.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would agree with that.
You got any more thoughts on her, Tawan?
Not in particular. I don't think I do. Um, I would say like probably out of most things in this movie, the Bathsheba element is maybe the not like I don't want to say like worst part, but maybe most derivative part, I guess you could say, just because the type of movie that it is and um, what like the character kind of does. Um, we know that like sure, like somebody's gonna get possessed. It ends up being the mom in this case, and while the possession was good when it was happening to the mom, it was like the actress who was giving us the mom's character, not really like the Bathsheba like element or ghost. But I will say the story of Bathsheba, that like the background story that was given to us about her, was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I had a question,
Uh,
that was it.
I kind of feel like that's what really brought uh, Bathsheba to life was like her story. Because you guys are right. Like she was barely there as like a main antagonist. She was never really like as the main villain. You know, she was never really like front and center until like the end. And even then, you're more focused on like, is the mom gonna like, are they gonna help the mom or not? And oh my god, I forgot what I was gonna say. And I liked the fact that they gave us little snippets of her because that way, like, because I feel like some movies when they kind of overdo it, it's not scary anymore. So I like that they gave us, half of her face, or they gave us like her swinging from the tree, like her feet, and they gave us, like people crawling around, but you never really see what or who. And I feel like that's what made the movie scarier, because it's someone, but you don't know what or who or where, and and I like that, but I still feel like, especially I guess because like compared to the other movies, you just never really see her. She was just kind of like not there, but I guess I don't know. But they were like relying so much on her story, like on her background, but it worked because it was very interesting, and it kind of made sense about why things were happening, how they were happening. But she was never like the main villain that they were like fighting against.
You had a question?
No, my question was more of like, how accurate. Do we know if it was accurate, her story, or was it just more for like for the plot of the movie? You know, any chance?
Yeah, I know. Uh, I think there was a lady named Bathsheba who was accused of witchcraft. I don't remember if she really had said that, yeah, like Satan and all that stuff, but I think everything else was made up though.
Okay. For me, what I had, it was with this scene as well, honestly, with like how we were talking about, like, it was. I wish there was a little bit more to how Lorraine kind of like knew that the mother was a vessel. Like she was using the mother to kill her daughter, because like we only had one example, which was the mother that killed Rory. But after that, they talk about a kid drowning. But I understand that was. I don't know how just one story, like just one. How do I say this? Just one. Oh my goodness, I'm having a. Just one.
Like how
Oh my
that
god.
one news story got
I'm on
her
a
to
pause right
connect all
now.
the
Oh my
dots
goodness.
at the end of the day.
Yeah, because yes, basically it's just like just with one incident. There we go. Just one incident revealed that he's using the mother. If there was like multiple incidents, I could see like a pattern, but just from one, I was like, oh, that was a stretch for me when I first thought of it.
I see that because even like I think the other people that had died on the property, they had committed suicide. Like
Yes,
multiple
one
people
was.
had committed.
No, no, you're right. Yeah, multiple committed suicide, and then I think one was a child that just drowned in the lake. I believe. I remember.
Yeah, and even then there was like speculation that the mom had drowned the kid in the lake, but it wasn't like in the newspaper. Huh? You're right.
Well, with that, we've come to the end, but not quite the end, because Tuan has to give the people behind the info back. Tuan.
The Conjuring had a budget of $20 million. It brought in a box office of $319.5 million. Some interesting facts. It is one of the highest grossing horror films of all time. Producer Tony Rosetta Grunn's early treatment intended for the film to be viewed from the perspective of Father Roger, Mother Carolyn, kids Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and April, and not forgetting dog Sadie, of course, aka the real life parent family. Vera Farmiga and Wilson spent 3 days with the real Lorraine Warren. The two traveled all the way to Connecticut before filming began, where they spent 3 days learning about the former's long running paranormal career from the lady herself. She would also regularly visit the set during production, and Lorraine Warren proved to be a valuable research tool for the crew. It's the first James Wan horror film without any input from Lee Winnell. Norma Sutfield and Gerald Helfrich, the previous owners of the house on which the film was based, sued James Wan, Warner Bros., and other producers in 2015 on the ground that their property was being vandalized constantly as a consequence of the film. The case was dismissed, though, in December of 2017. Gerald Brittle, the author of the 1980 book The Demonologist about Ed and Lorraine Warren, filed a lawsuit against Warner Bros., New Line Productions, and director James Wan regarding the film. Brittle claimed the film, alongside the subsequent sequel and spin-offs, infringed upon an exclusive contract he had with the Warrens to make any works based on the subject of his book. Warner Bros. Settled the case with Brittle in December 2017. Some critics' reactions. The Conjuring currently sits at a 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. The Hollywood Reporter said, with its minimal use of digital effects, its strong sympathetic performances, and ace design work, the pick harks back in themes and methods to The Exorcist and the Amityville Horror. Variety gave the film a positive review, calling the film a sensationally entertaining old-school freakout, and Entertainment Weekly gave the film an A-, citing the effectiveness of mood and sound effects for shocks that never feel cheap.
But forget about them. What about us? Do we cash or pass The Conjuring? Maria?
I cash. I love the series, and I feel like it's a solid first movie to the series. So I cash.
Tuan?
Also cash for The Conjuring. I think it's as when Maria said, I think it's a good first movie to start off this universe, as they title it, and I think it kind of hones in that when James Wan is at the helm, he's pretty good for them, always, in my opinion. I think when he's at the helm of these franchises and doing what he does, he always pumps out quality work. I feel this is notion of that, and I think the success that it got was warranted, and it's definitely one of those that holds up. We're basically what did we say? This came out 2013. We're basically 10 years out, and this movie still gets talked about very regularly.
Elion?
Cash for sure. What I do, I agree with both what you guys said. What I really did like is that as well, it started with a very small budget, especially for something like Warner Bros. But that small budget and the way that it was directed and the way it was brought up to to theaters and then to our homes, it allowed it to build into the universe. We had bigger budgets with the future films, which now we actually enjoy some of them. But I really did enjoy that it started small and now it's basically a big franchise.
And for me, it was a cash. It was a decent movie. Did I have problems with the directing choices and editing choices and some of the sound design and the color grading? Yes. But overall, it was a good time. It was a good little kickoff. But he really could have used that input from Lee Winnell. But no, that's just me. But join us next week as we review Annabelle, which I'm not excited for because I have a huge fear of ventriloquist dummies and porcelain dolls, and I've never seen Annabelle. But I'm going to do it for the show. Wish me luck, guys. Good night. If you like this episode, please be sure to check out Haddonfield Horror's past reviews from big franchises like Halloween, Friday the 13th, and the Chucky franchise, or one-off reviews like Us and Midsommar. You can follow Haddonfield Horrors on Instagram and TikTok, where the host posts updates and mini reviews. Full episodes are available on several podcasting platforms. If you're listening to us on YouTube, don't forget to please like and subscribe. Haddonfield Horror is produced by Mark Smart, Maria Perez, and Tuan Griffin. Edited by Mark Smart. Theme by Lethal Injections. The Haddonfield Horrors podcast is a Letters to Media production.
Should we do an intro?